Ta-da! We're back. Hi, everybody. I am clicking on that. I'm Abby Haggard. This is my tiny corner of the world, my little office in my little apartment in the heart of Canada's capital city, Ottawa. And I am coming to you today, 10 a.m. Abby, New York time, to talk about something really important, I think. And maybe it's kind of a stealth. It's a stealth surprise, I'm thinking. And it's this, the title of our video today, our ABCAST today, 387, by the way, 387, is what if it's me who grants my wishes? You know, make a wish. Oh, I wish. What if we're the ones who do it? What if we, in the process of putting it out there, in the process of saying this matters to me, to the degree that I'm going to ask the great other for for stepping in on my behalf. What if what we're bringing is so much positive energy and excitement and focus that we are actually triggering the tsunami? And the reason I want to talk about that is because of two things. One is, of course, Pivotry in motion. If we're looking at the world this way and then we look at it that way and we think, wait a minute, how long has that been there? The idea that we actually might have the capacity, we might be the trigger mechanism, we might be, just pick up that little rock and throw it and start an avalanche. Our decision to claim a purpose, to claim an intention, to claim with our energy belief in, connection to, making ourselves vulnerable to the statement we make, putting it out there that I'm not all cool and calm and collected and don't care. This matters. This matters to the extent that I am inviting help by wishing, crossing our eyes, flinging a coin into a pond. If we do all of that, if our feeling for it, our passion for it, our excitement for it, our determination for it, if all of that swirls up the cosmic dust, why would it be something else that delivers it? Why wouldn't it be us? Why wouldn't we have been the ones to trigger it? If we get all head up about it and we're in it and we've stopped being ho-hum, then why isn't it ours? I really think it is. I really think, make a wish. Why? Why wish? Why stand there and from a distance yearn into the great void? How does that give us the ownership when it happens? How do we get to spike the ball and say, oh, right then. And by the way, thank you for all the molecules and all of the intentions and all of the energies out there that finally got me up off my lazy backside and chose to say, this matters. This, right now, this. And maybe not right now, but this. If I have a choice, this. If that is what we really put into our wish, then I think we do own it. I think we are the wish. I don't merely think that we state the intention. I don't think that we merely say what I wouldn't give for a chocolate ice cream. I think we are saying, yeah, chocolate ice cream. That's what we're doing. We're doing that. And we're going to keep doing that. I think that's what happens. And having said that, quick sip, by the way, cheers, warm beverage, throat. And the reason I'm keen about it is that when we do that, two things happen. It's my life. I'm in charge. I can enlist the assistance and the conspiratory machinations of various people from time to time. But all through every day, I'm the one with me. Whatever else I've got going on in here, whatever else is the remnants of everything else that is now going on in here, it's in here. It's not over there. It's in here. These are all the souvenirs that help people say, oh yeah, that looks like Abby's room. This is Abby right here, right? This is from whence the thought of the wish comes, possibly triggered by a story, by something else, ultimately germinated and seasoned and packaged by me. If it's something that I wish to have closer to me, wish to have surround me, wish to have part of me, then it's mine, isn't it? It's mine. If I write a book, it's my book till I sell it to you, and then it's your book. It's still got my name on it, unless you got a Sharpie. If I author it, if it comes from me, who else could own it? If I was having this conversation about, fairy godmothers and a child saying, "Can you show me how to make wishes come true?" And the answer was, well, you make it, you do it. You are the wish. We are the wish. If we understand that it makes a difference, if we believe, if we feel, if we're passion, and we are connection, and we are purpose, and we are energy, and all of those things about us are focused on this one thing, this one event, this one transformation, how are we not the wish? And by that, how are we also not the outcome? I think it's all us. And I was having this conversation. I was having a very strange phone conversation this morning with somebody who reached out and claimed to be somebody. And we were talking about my career. She seemed to know a lot about me. And then all of a sudden she pitched me to buy something. And I said, well, good morning, Freddie. Good morning. I'm glad you're back. I suddenly realized that probably the whole conversation was a pitch, but I didn't let her do it. And when she said, so let's, now we have to talk about something, and I realized she was going to ask for money. And I said, I'd like you to send that to me in writing, please. And she said, well, blah, 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 something tentative, yes or no. And I said, I'd like you to send that to me in writing. And the call disconnected. So I don't know whether I was being scammed or phished or whatever, or may have been on its way. But the conversation took a turn I don't think she expected, because she started laughing at some of the things I was saying. So she clearly got off her script. And I'm sure that all of a sudden it disconnected, probably because the person monitoring the call has pulled the plug and said, you're wasting your time with this one. So my wish isn't that somebody out of the clear blue of the western sky discovers me. My wish is that I provide such value that people are drawn to who I am and what I do. Gary and I are talking a lot, of course, these days, because we're getting our talks organized. We're sorting out the difference between our talks and our training and our workshops, and how much we're going to be doing this, and what do we do at the end, and it's all logistics. And I said, I saw a thing, and this is all part of the wish. I saw a thing, I read it, and I thought, oh, so true. And then I thought, oh my, we've been doing this all along. It said, no one buys a hat without looking at themselves in the mirror. We don't go in and say, I'll take that hat, without trying it on. And we don't try it on without saying, is there a mirror? Because we want to see what we look like. We want to see what the world is going to see when we wear the hat. We're getting context. We're not saying to the clerk, well, what do you think? Or our friend, what do you think? Well, maybe. But the first thing we're doing is we want to see if we like it. Because I know I've bought hats, or if about to buy a hat, put it on, look in the mirror and say, no, and take the hat off. No, because this is not the impression that I'm purposefully making and intending to leave. So, and I had reached out to Gary and I said, so we're keeping the mirrors, we're keeping the feather boas, and we're adding hats. And the reason we're doing that is to give people an opportunity to see their wish as it emerges. Give me a second. Because when we go and do a talk, we're talking about excellence, we're talking about success, we're talking about resilience, we're talking about the fact that working our way toward excellence, and then maintaining and practicing to reach a consistent success, and then continuing so that we have resilience. We need resilience because life doesn't stop and say, oh, we'll just go over here and wait until you're successful and then we'll come back and distract you. No. Life distracts us all the time. Life is a succession of tsunami waves. Change is ever upon us. What we need, that I have been providing for a long time, and Gary now in joining me is providing, is context. This is what you look like. This is what it feels like when we all do this. We are creating a village experience so that if people want to have a brand that is unforgettable, or they want to launch a business that is unforgettable, a service or a product or a reputation that is unforgettable, they need to be able to see what other people see. When you go into the jungle, you're probably not going to make a lot of sales in desert equipment. When you go into the desert, you're probably not going to sell a lot of classes in how to swing from vines. You look at your market, you understand who they are, what they do, why they do it, and then you compare what that is with what you have to sell, and you try to create a match. That's that first rule in marketing, right? Get their attention, make them glad they came. Get their attention because you're selling them something that they, ooh, that's the first rule. And then they try it and it's fabulous. That's make them glad they came. If we can't understand what other people are wishing for, we can't be part of their trajectory from where they are to where they want to be. We can't be part of that journey. We can't be running alongside with the water bottles and the towels and cheering them at the finish line. We can't be part of it if we don't understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, why it matters to them. We can be part of someone's wish. We can't make the wish for them, and we are not the ones who grant it. The one wishing, the one saying, this is mine, is the one who says, why, thank you, takes the ball and runs with it across the finish line, spikes the ball in the end zone. If we are the one who grants the wish, and it's our wish, we own it. We own all the heavy lifting. We can be grateful to every single energy, every single influence, every single setback, every single experience that has been with us all the way along the path. Ultimately, though, if we are the one who says, I am making a wish, we are stating our intention. We are making ourselves vulnerable to the universe. Instead of being closed in, we are saying, this matters to me. And I think when we do that, I think when we claim it matters to me, and then we make the decisions, the steps we're going to take, the things we're going to do, and the things we're going to set aside. I did this exercise. I've talked about it a few times on some of my ABCASTs. Did this exercise with a group of young parents. Can you imagine? I got hired to talk in a parenting workshop. I said, I wasn't really the mother of those children. Like that was a job. And she said, I don't know. I think you've got something to share. So I went in and I said, I want to do an exercise with you. I'm going to come around. I think there were like 20 people. I said, I'm going to come around. I'm going to pick up one of your things. I'm not leaving the room. I'm not a hidden kleptomaniac. I'm going to pick up one of your things. I'm going to prove something to you. I'm going to show something to you. So I walked around the room and I picked up whatever it was, a bag, a hat, a coat, a pen. And gradually, I mean, it didn't take very long. My arms were full, right? I got all this stuff. And when I got to the end, the organizer of the event was sitting there and I said, ask me to do something for you. She said, now? And I said, right now. Say, Abby, can you do this for me? And she said, Abby, can you open the door for me? And I said, for heaven's sake, now? And she started to laugh and she said, yeah. I said, fine then. And I just unceremoniously dropped everything because my arms were dropped, everything. And I walked over and opened the door. Was there anything else? Did you want a coffee? And everybody laughed and I closed the door. And I stepped dramatically over the pile of stuff. And I went back to my little stool and I said, now, we have choices. We can try and take on everybody else's stuff if we feel that that is the reason we are here. We can handle that thing for you and this thing for you and those other things for you and you and you until our hands are so full and our shoulders are so weary from carrying everybody else's stuff that the only way we can do the next thing we want to do is by letting it go, is by setting all of that other stuff aside and doing the next thing. If I had tried to open the door with my hands full, I would have dropped things. As it is, I placed them all down. I would have been unable to do it well. And so I made a conscious choice. And the conscious choice I made was, if I'm going to do a thing well, then I have to do it. And then right after it, I will do the next thing well. If I choose to do that thing, it's my thing. I own it. You may have asked me, it may be for your purpose. If I say yes, it's mine. I own it. If I take part in it, I own it. If I'm going to own it, I'm going to do it well. That's what I get to choose. And I said to the parents, you can try and be all things to all of your children and your job and your friends and your parents and your community. But at some point, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to put some of it down. And if you know ahead of time that you're going to have to put some of it down or lose your mind, then begin with that end in mind. Don't say, yes, I'll carry your burden forever. Say, I'm happy to help for now. I love you, I'll help you for now. If somebody trespasses on your boundaries, you can say, you're trespassing on my boundary, and I love you. I want you to know that I know you're doing it. I want you to know that this is a temporary okay, because my boundaries are there for a reason. And when I say no, it will be because I need all of my territory. And if we lean in with the intention that it is mine today, then we deserve, and whatever this thing is that we own, it deserves our best and fullest possible attention. If we only half show up, we only get half the outcome. Why did we even leave the house then? So what if it's me who is giving permission? What if it is me saying, I'm getting on that boat? What if I don't flip a coin? Although there's a great conversation. Somebody said the value in flipping a coin is when you've gone boink, you pretty much already know which way you want it to land. It helps you recognize what you really do secretly want. If, however, you say, I'm not giving my power to external sources, if I'm making the decision, if I have given my word, it's mine, I own it. Right? If somebody says, here's the deal. This happened to a friend of mine not that long ago. Here's the deal, my friend was told. You do this for us, and we will do this in return for you. My friend said, deal. Shook hands, signed on the dotted line, stepped in, started rowing, and all the things that were promised never materialized. What was that? That was somebody lying, is what it was. That was somebody not showing up. That was somebody making a promise that was hollow. What is the choice? Keep going? Be the only one rowing? It was in that instance, until all of a sudden it capsized. All of a sudden it was just impossible. All of a sudden it came to a screaming halt. And in the shattered moment, pulling self out of the wreckage to walk away, brush off, and live to fight another day. So what if it's me granting the wish? What if it isn't, oh, please, fairy godmother, bing, and so you shall? What if the prayer that we share with others, yes, very much, Freddie, very much, quid pro quo. What if the prayer we make, the intention we send out, is riding on our energy? We are the messenger. We are carrying the wish, the ask, the intention, the purpose, the dream, the passion. If it's me and it happens, I own it. My gratitude is overflowing. My intention, my statement, my purpose, this phone call that I had, the person on the phone said, what is your intention? And I said, my intention is to share with others what it takes to bring your best, no matter what. What it asks of us to lean in, what it invites us to do is establish healthy boundaries. What it illustrates for us is the cost to us when we don't take ownership, when we don't draw the line, heart-shaped in the sand, and say, I will love you from afar. If this is your code of conduct, I will love you from afar. I've had a couple of opportunities that I'm very clearly aware of, and possibly more, when someone's behavior was unhelpful, when someone's behavior unhelpful. Unhelpful, Abby, is the term we use in therapy circles. It benefits no one. Okay. Usually when I had said something remarkably, that's unhelpful. If someone does something that is unhelpful, if someone does something that is inconsiderate of other people's feelings, and if they could reasonably recognize that it was less than considerate, if they don't have the capacity, in the conversation about capacity, I love using this analogy. If you're colorblind, you can't discuss pink. You can't respect the value of pink if you can't see it. If you've never experienced it, you can't weigh in on it with any credibility. So if I don't understand or feel compassion, or I have no curiosity, or I have no sense of humor, then if I behave accordingly and people say, well, I thought you'd be curious. Okay, probably a lot of people would be, but if I had no capacity to be curious, then it wasn't going to happen. So there are layers of accountability in all of us, because we are all different and we're all broken in some way, shape, or form. However, having said all of that, if it is reasonable to understand that I worked hard for this and I care about it and it matters to me and I am very respectful of it and I look after it, if you don't have any intention of respecting what I do, why I care, why it matters, if you break it or dirty it or steal it or borrow it or make fun of it for no healthy, purposeful reason other than you felt like it, you are making it very clear to me how you do or do not respect me if I take great care of what is mine and you choose to do the opposite. My wish in that case, my intention, my purpose, my passion is clear. This matters to me. Your purpose, your intention, your passion, I suppose, is to disregard that and do whatever you feel like. In those circumstances in my life, and as I say, I've only had a couple of opportunities, I have said to the person doing it, that is not acceptable here. Please don't do that. And if they have argued it with me, I have said, then there's nothing more to talk about. Because I have strong feelings about this. In many cases, when people have very strong feelings and are very vocal, without first asking if this is a convenient and appropriate place, I say, I'm not really going to have that conversation on that topic. And I would request that you don't continue, because it is not something that I wish to engage in at all. And if they argue the point, then the conversation is over. Because in cases like that, their wish is not to collaborate, communicate, share, find togetherness. Theirs is to dominate. Theirs is to override. And if that's the case, override your way on out of here. And it's very difficult sometimes when that happens. It's very difficult when we suddenly realize that someone we had thought to be a certain type reveals some other quality. Well, thank you, Freddie. That's very kind. I hope I'm teaching new things. When it happens that someone we thought we knew well shows another side of them, and we feel the need to say, no, we take our personal grief with us, that we misunderstood, that we misread, or the things we didn't realize we were seeing had been there all the time, and we had just ignored them because it's that in those early stages they hadn't really resonated. Our wish in those early stages was to keep a momentum going. And in order to keep the momentum going, oh, Rhea, and there you are, exactly at the moment. In our wish to keep a momentum going, we often forgive our barnacle buddies who are riding along and slowing us down and creating a different wake than the one we intended to make. And in this conversation about wish, what if it's me making my wish come true? In this time of artificial intelligence and divisive language and people drawing lines in the sand and demanding it has to be this or that, it's difficult. It becomes a challenge to keep those boundaries soft, to keep the rhetoric civilized, to remind people that our wish is not externally driven and it is not externally delivered. Everything is coming from within us. And if we want to maintain, create and maintain the kinds of connections and relationships that elevate, that glorify, that give us that wonderful trigger for that happy grin, that kind of, that reason to look at each other and say, we got this. Those warm moments of togetherness, of shared collaboration, the softness, the vulnerability, the love, doesn't exist simultaneously with division and finger pointing and ultimatums. My wish for thee and me is that we continue to foster this relationship, that we continue to express our gratitude and our respect for each other and our various boundaries, and to look for ways to work together to make it greater. In this time of divisive rhetoric, in this time of people worried about things out of control, scary moments, losses of things that we thought were not ever going to go away, we need safe sanctuary spaces. We thrive in safe sanctuary spaces. And the safe sanctuary space is not a physical location. We may gather inside a physical location. We may meet each other at the corner of Walk and Wait, but the safe sanctuary space is inside. What if I bring my safe sanctuary space to us, and you bring yours to us, and together our energies collide? Then we never feel alone, and we never feel abandoned, we never feel set adrift, we never feel confused. We may not know or really understand what the hell that is over there, but we're not afraid when we're together. We're not lost when we're together. Nothing will ever replace the human connection, the warmth the understanding that there is a real tangible element to the hug that we receive virtually. There is an intention behind the hug. There is the energy flowing in the sending and the receiving of the hug. We are in this together. My wish is that my part in our journey together makes you smile, gives you a reason to say, oh yeah, let's do this again. I wish to collaborate and connect and contribute to you feeling better about you. I wish to bring all the skills that I've learned, all the tools that I've developed to have our conversations as our training begins, as talks, our speaking events begin, as our workshops begin. The lion effect is that we bring our true self. Our slogan is, there is a way back from broken. There is a way. And we don't need to walk it alone. That's why I'm here. That's why Gary and I are doing this amazing work. That's why in these videos, now as we are getting closer and closer, like the saying, home is where the heart is. Oh, where Abby is. Thank you. I know it's a safe space. Thank you, Rhea. Thank you. Gary and I want to create a community of people who know that if they don't quite know what to do, they know who to ask. They know who to come and see. They can look forward to events, big or small, opportunities to get a bigger perspective, to listen, to collaborate, to ask questions, to have opinions, to share. You know, I make a joke all the time when I say, you know, the TED Talks? Yeah, why is it always all about TED? What Gary and I are doing, TED listens, okay? We talk and we listen. That's kind of a thing. It's not direct current, it's alternating current. Our current, our energy, our ability to communicate and share and support each other. That's the lion effect. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it whether you're getting the information through these free ABCASTs, whether you decide to come to a webinar online, whether you decide to come to some training, whether you decide when we do a retreat to make the commitment and show up for that, whether you're just getting the tools that we have put together for the websites and the webinars and the whatnot. The idea is that we are building a community of resilience. We're building a community of people who choose to thrive. We're building a community of people who do not say my way or the highway. We're all different. We all bring something of unique and enormous value to the recipe. So today on 387, a little shorter than usual, what I'm saying is this: what if we are the ones granting our wishes? Let's say it's true. Let's say it is me granting for me, you granting for you, and we granting for us. It means we're not spectators. It means we own it. We are not victims. We are not collateral damage. We're the ones who can spike the ball and say, yes. Did we work hard? Yes. Gary was moving stuff yesterday, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of stuff. And I know that when he finished, he said, Because how long do I have to do this till it's done? All right then. Why are we such an incredible production team? Are you kidding? Watching that man work tirelessly until it's done. He said, I thought I was the only one who did that. I watched you at the Fanaticon event. You never stopped all day. You never stopped. And it looked like it was just rolling off your back. And I said, yeah, well, it rolls off my back until it's over. And then I sit down and think, oh yeah, yes, but that was hurting. It was my feet. I knew it was something. So this is what I want to say to you as we kind of wrap this up early today, okay? In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in 6 days, we are at September. We have one last kick at the summer holiday can, Labor Day, and after that, everybody says back to fill in the blank. 6 days. And this is what I want to say to you. What I do for my clients, in my work, in my career, with you, what Gary and I do and will be doing is to prepare you to ride the cresting wave and enjoy the view. We are preparing you. Back in the day when I started working on this kind of thing, I called it a now what strategy. A now what strategy is when you thought the phone was going to ring and it didn't. And everything hinged on the phone ringing and it didn't. And you've passed the window. It's too late now. The phone didn't ring. And you say, now what? What's plan B and C? And did we have any more of them? Because we put a lot of eggs in that one basket for that phone and it didn't ring already then. So the now what strategy, 6 days before everybody says, and they're off. The prep before the starting gun. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, okay? You can write them down if you want. Tap them into your phone. Here's the thing. What do you want the outcome to be? What is your vision of the outcome? When the wish is fulfilled, what do you want in the palm of your hand? You write that down. What do you want in the palm of your hand when the wish is fulfilled? Oh, this is a fire alarm. If you can hear this, it's a fire alarm. The second question is, why do you want it? Why do you want what is in the palm of your hand? You have initiated the wish. The wish has come true. It is in the palm of your hand. So you're going to hear gonging in a second. Bong, bong, bong. Mayday, mayday. So what do you want in the book? Good morning, Charles. What do you want to have in the palm of your hand when the wish you have granted you comes true? What is it? Write it down. Second, why do you want it? What does having this wish granted mean to you? What does having this outcome mean to you? What is it that you wanted? What does it mean to you? And can you hear that? Fire drill. When you get it, and and you know what it's going to do. What is it going to change for you? What do you, what is it that you hope, that you lean into, that you believe in? What is it that this will help you achieve? This wish you have asked for, this belief that you have that this matters. What we want to know, what you need to know, what you need to write down is, what do I intend to do? What it is, why it matters, what I intend to do now that I have it. If I am the one granting my wish, what is it I want to have in the palm of my hand? What is it that I want it to do? Why does it matter? What does it change? What opportunity does it give to me? Now, when we do that, every time, when we take our little, we can use our later folder, when we take a piece of paper and we say, I wish, we can also say, I find this more fun. Here's the plan. I write down, here's the plan, because it feels more tangible for me. All right, men, here's the plan. I'm the only one in the room. Well, all of my alter ego me's, right? Here's the plan. The plan is this. When I have this, I can do that. And when I can do that, these are my possibilities. Now, I am giving you that perspective because I want to make it clear as I can. I want to bring clarity to the fact that it's always up to us. What we state our intention for, what it means to us, how we want to use it, and how we feel it will create change. This gives us the power and the pride of ownership. This gives us the opportunity to say, this is mine. This is mine. I put it out there. I recognized that it was important. I gave it my total focus, my 100% belief. I let nobody, not even a fire drill, get in the way of my intention, because it matters to me and it opens the door for these fresh possibilities. When we start feeling like this, when we start looking at the situations that we automatically use language that takes away our power, we automatically use language that makes us helpless. When we accidentally do that, then we are not able to control the way we feel. When we yeah, no fire is nothing going to stop us. When we say, I saw the notice yesterday they were going to do the drill, and I said, what are the chances? They have all day to do it. They have all day to do it. What are the chances? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when they do it. Thank you for warning me. I would have recognized it the minute they went bong the first time. Thank you for warning me. Now I will behave accordingly. And did I allow it to stop me? No, it takes more than a fire drill to stop me. So my message today, what if we are the ones who grant our wishes? If we are the ones who grant our wishes, then we're in a really good place, because we're the ones who know what we want. We're the ones who know why we want it. And we're the ones who have the plan, what we're going to do when we get it. And that way it's ours. It's our intention. It's our purpose. It's our vision. It's our excitement. It's our journey. It's our boat. It's our oar. And there is so much more that is satisfying when we say, mine. It's mine. If it's my wish, then I'm the one making it. I'm the one creating the ask. I am the one inviting the answer. If I'm the one inviting, come in, sit down. There's no reason it won't come. Come on in out of the rain. Good to see you. Let's do this. So when you say, and Charles, you did a perfect thing. You did a perfect thing there. You said it would drive me up the wall. No, a fire alarm does not drive anybody anywhere. We allow a noise to distract us to the extent that we are upset. We choose to allow that sound to distract us from how we feel. The alarm doesn't do it. It doesn't drive anything. We choose. And when we say things like that, we suddenly feel, oh, why would I allow that? I'll put in earplugs. I'll leave the building. If it's going to happen, I had a farmhouse. I lived out in the country for a while. Bought a farm. I said to myself, how hard can that be? And it was 50 feet from a railroad track. And it was a double track, so which meant that things came in and the dong, 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 dong. And I was there for 6 years. And there were a lot of times when the trains didn't go by. And then there were a lot of times when they did in 6 years. And after a while, I didn't even hear it. It just became one of those things. Somebody say, oh my God. And I would say, what? Oh yeah, that. Because I refused to allow it to ruin my life living there. My house, did I buy it? Yeah, right then. So that's the message today. Our workshops are starting soon. Our training is starting soon. Our speaking events are starting soon. We are going to be doing webinars. We are going to be doing live events. We are going to be doing virtual stuff because we have so many connections and friends and followers and fans. Bless you, bless you, bless you, all of you from everywhere and all the platforms. And the reason what we are doing is different from everybody else is two things. One is we are the where to start before you start every next thing. We are the preparation. We are the how to pack and unpack before you pack for the trip. And the second thing is, I'm telling you, and no one else will, that you don't need to change. You are exactly who you're supposed to be right now. How you state your intention, how you rethink your ask, changes all the energy around you. And things come to you. No one is required to do more, to be more, to get more. We are already all the more there is. We already are the wish. We do not have any need to give away our power. We can use our power to welcome the ingredients we ask, the people we invite, the scenarios, the outcomes to unfold with us, for us, through us. We are who we are supposed to be. What is my purpose here? I'm doing it. What is your purpose here? You're doing it. What if we are the ones who grant our wishes? The answer is we are. Now, for you, remember that. Think about that. Allow that to percolate around you today. I am the one granting my wishes. I am asking for assistance. I am marshaling all the energy. Ultimately, I am the one saying, this, please, and thank you. And when I see you on Thursday, I have a different additional angle on this, and I'm going to ask you, when you come back, all through Tuesday and Wednesday, how did that shift in perspective, in you taking ownership, how did that feel? How did that feel all through the day? There is no if only. It already is. All the stuff you want already is. All you have to add is where it can park. Right here. Parking's free. Right here. And with that said, my loves, I'm going to love you and leave you. We managed to make it through a fire drill. I knew we had it in us. I'm going to love you and leave you with the usual things that I say. Be good to you. You deserve it. And remember to hug your loved ones because they deserve it too. Okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you, LinkedIn. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you for making this just the best fun ever. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for getting in my boat. Thank you for rowing. And I will catch you next time.